Hello, everybody. Welcome to the latest version and session of this podcast, Next Week's Life. And I'm thrilled, and I really am thrilled because I really like this guy and you're going to like him too, to have the president CEO of who?
PowerMPS.
There you go.
Thank you.
PowerMPS. And another great part of PowerMPS is something that we're going to have to spend a little bit of time on. It's fun, it's exciting, it's new, it's in my wheelhouse. So Alex, welcome to the show.
No, thanks, Mike. I really appreciate you having me.
It's my pleasure. So tell the audience, who are you? Where'd you come from?
Well, my name is Alex Cribby. I come from the channel. I spent the first 6 years of my professional career in the e-commerce world. So dabbled in software out of the gates, out of college, and had an opportunity to get involved in this very intriguing, ever exciting world of printers and toner cartridges and ink, and found myself in a startup in late 2005, early 2006. Really just started my career as a reseller of toner cartridges, literally knowing nothing. I had an opportunity to jump in that world, and I did. Morphed that into a full service managed print organization and ran a dealership. So I built a MPS dealership over a 10-year period, and I had an opportunity to exit in 2015. Parlayed that into some consulting and working with dealers both in managed print and managed services, and that led me to wanting to solve a problem in the industry from a software perspective. I utilized the tool sets, that every dealer's really utilized for the last 15 or 20 years from whether it be ERP or e-commerce or data collection. I used those as a dealer. So I, knew both the pain points and also the things that worked well. So when I exited the dealer world and moved into consulting, I was implementing tool sets for dealers, managed service providers to help improve processes or even start doing managed print services at the time. And I was just frustrated. So, that led me to getting a group of people together that kind of shared a vision on how can we improve processes, how can we lean on modern technology to be more efficient. And it kind of all started from there in 2017, 2018.
So you've been in this business with this company since 2017?
Yeah, we started PowerMPS conceptually in 2017. Like I said, I parlayed my consulting work into really going out and kind of creating a virtual roundtable and inquiring with some existing software companies, trying to see if we could take the current situation of dealers utilizing 5 or 6 different software applications that weren't truly integrated, that weren't truly native cloud solutions, and seeing how we could consolidate and how we could, essentially build an all-in-one platform. All-in-one is a kind of a controversial word per se, but we wanted this to try to make the technology a little bit more efficient. So we started with e-commerce and we started with data collection. So that was the initial goal and vision behind PowerMPS initially. So we went to work building PowerMPS, the initial solution, with combining e-commerce and data collection to automate supply fulfillment. When we took that product to market in, we'll say, August of 2020, we had a distributor data feed partner send an email out to some of their customers. We got 166 demo requests in 3 minutes. And the 2 of us that were operating at that time, one, kind of crapped ourselves because we weren't prepared to have that kind of of response. But 2, we went to work. We did 125 demos in 3 weeks. We converted 50% of those demos to customers of PowerMPS that were looking for a more modern user experience with e-commerce, with direct data feeds to their distributors, and a brand agnostic modern data collection tool that was new to the market and to automate processes. So it was a great experience bringing that to market. But when we did that, we started getting some great feedback from customers and organizations that were not customers. Some of the largest dealers in the organization were reaching out to see, what are you guys doing? why do I keep hearing PowerMPS? What is this e-commerce solution? Who the heck are you? So with that feedback, it was, Alex, this is a great solution. This is a very modern, robust e-commerce solution and data collection agent and something new and something that's efficient. But if we don't have an off-ramp to a system of record or an enterprise ERP solution, it's going to be very difficult for us to fully migrate over everything.
So when you first got into the business with e-commerce and data collection, have you exceeded your expectations as far as sales go?
Yeah, well, I would say yes and no. So, when I joke about the fact that there was only a couple of us operating because we were a technology startup, right, in 2020 when we kind of took PowerMPS, the initial solution, to market. And when I say startup, I also say new as an organization, not necessarily brand new technology. We merged two existing mature technologies in e-commerce and data collection to form one company in PowerMPS. So we did very well right out of the gates, but with the feedback that we got and the industry really asking for an alternative solution from an ERP perspective, as an organization, we had a decision to make at that time. And it was a tough decision. It was either continue down the path of PowerMPS as an e-commerce and data collection tool, or take a swing and try to bring a modern ERP, a customized ERP, working hand in hand with dealers to get their feedback on what works, what doesn't, what they would like to see in a modern technology stack from an ERP perspective. So we had that decision to make, to stick with what we built and just go down that path and build a successful business and not take a swing for a home run swing, or go out and try to customize an ERP solution. Not building it from scratch, I will note. We weren't going to do that. I would be in a padded room somewhere if we were going to build an ERP technology from scratch. We wanted to partner with a existing enterprise ERP partner, which we did in a company called Acumatica.
So I've had a lot of experience with ERP, as you know.
I do.
And some people will tell you that they would rather have a sharp stick poked in the eye with a sharp stick. So that's a major monumental decision that you had to make. So what process did you go through in order to determine, you mentioned Acumatica, what process did you go through to ensure that you're going to be able to deliver a solution that works? Because that's exactly what the dealers are going to tell you. What process did you go through to ensure, sustainability? And how confident are you now that you've achieved that?
Yeah, I mean, the first part of the question, as far as the process that we went through to assure that we were going to deliver what dealers wanted, was going out and doing focus groups, talking to dealers, bringing dealers in-house and getting that feedback through surveys and focus groups, and looking at the different functionality as far as, hey, this works in an ERP solution. This could work better. This doesn't work. And what are the pain points? And there was a lot of common, commonalities as far as like the pain points go. Being able to extract data, being able to customize, being able to extend. So, we spent, 6 or 8 months of every day talking to different dealers or different dealer groups and getting that feedback first. And then going out and figuring out, okay, what technology exists out there? I mean, everybody knows NetSuite, everybody knows SAP. There's some other, SMB to mid-level to enterprise ERP solutions out there that we could have worked with. But doing research and understanding, through G2, through Gartner, through Nucleus, through IDC, and learning what's the fastest growing ERP solution in the world right now. What's been named the best ERP solution 4 years in a row for distribution and manufacturing. Looking at the technology stack that ERP is built on, and looking at no-code, low-code, which really changes the game, especially in customization and extendability.
How so? What would a dealer? Why is that important? What you just said to a dealer?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, having used legacy ERP solutions in this channel and the feedback from the dealer, having to be a rocket scientist to be able to build a custom report, or having to outsource, development to build a custom report's ridiculous, first of all. It shouldn't be that painful. And in addition to that, being able to extract data very easily. Dealers, as a dealer, you need to own your data. You shouldn't be held hostage, with your data. It's a terrible situation. I knew the feeling. And those were probably the two most consistent pain points: customization and the ease of it, but also the expense of it, right? I mean, if you go out and you have to hire a full-time developer and house them in-house, I mean, those aren't $50,000 a year, $60,000 a year employees. Those are $150,000 a year employees.
So I'm a dealer that's, $20 million, let's say, hypothetically, and I'm on a 30-year-old ERP or software solution. In 5 seconds or less, what are the top 3 bullet points that you want to get my attention with? Why do I want to move?
Yeah. I'll start with customer support. I'll go to customization and extendability, and less support costs. You're not having to go out and get 13 different third-party integrations to make your ERP solution work.
Okay, so support is critical. The path to implementation is critical. Data migration has to be painless. Where are you with data migration? Why, as a dealer, should I not be worried about that?
I mean, with implementation, data migration is always going to be the biggest pain point. Not only did we first establish a team internally, both from an executive leadership team, but also from an implementation team, we brought in people that have not only know ERP, but know this channel. They know the existing systems and the pain points of trying to extract that data. So combining 200 plus years of industry experience dealing with data, dealing with existing legacy ERPs, with AI, automation, and tools and technology that give you the ability to save time, be more efficient, and do it in a manner that's going to make life easier and lower costs is going to change the game completely.
So obviously exciting news, right? So if I'm on a 30-year-old ERP, I know what I'm dealing with, right, at that point. Yep. So in order for me to go through an appropriate DX migration, right, so transformation, in order for me to get involved with AI or chat, do these things matter to you and to your company and to DX1 as far as how I perceive them as a 30-year-old ERP dealer? Is this going to change my game to have all these new tools available?
It is going to change your game. I mean, it's not only is it going to save you time. I mean, with data migration and implementation is one thing, and I will note. I mean, AI is an incredible thing, and I'll be the first one to admit I don't know everything about AI. I don't even know if anybody knows everything about AI yet. But one important thing, there was a great article by Brian Evergreen that I read on Monday of this week, actually, that really stressed and drove home the fact that AI can be a very powerful thing, and it is for us too, but there has to be business strategy behind it. And that business strategy has to come from a human. And that was something that was essential to us as an organization, is that we wanted to develop everything that we have within the platform in DX1 through the dealer's lens. How are we going to make this more efficient, but how do we make sure that we keep processes in line of, not necessarily straying off into the future of how you're going to do business, but giving them tools that they can grow and scale with and understand and be more efficient, save time, reduce expenses, and give them a future-proof platform to be able to grow. And in addition to that, and we don't need to get into the licensing model now, but we will change the game as far as the licensing model goes.
Yeah, you and I have talked about this off and on since actually last January when you announced your new plan coming into this year. And obviously I've had some experience with ERP. And one of the things that I had in the way of frustration when I had my own company was the rigidity of SAP Business One, the inflexibility of that particular product, meaning SAP tried to build a horse that everyone can ride. And in the copier imaging channel or however we want to define it now, you need flexibility. You need that freedom, and you need a cooperative partner. So here you are now 6 months down the road, and how are you feeling about, that freedom to develop, that the product flexibility, the open AI, whatever things you're dealing with now? How much further has that come since the rigidity of a B1 product?
I mean, quite honestly, it's hard to even compare. I mean, I would look at it as, a 30-year-old bicycle versus a bicycle that was, built in 2023. I mean, there's not only is there with no code, low code, and the technology stack that Acumatica developed on since 2006. The intelligence, the scalability and flexibility of how their business logic and workflows work. It really gives the ability for somebody I consider myself a citizen developer. I'm not a coder, but it gives the ability for somebody like myself or the everyday user to be a citizen developer and to go in and be able to build business logic and workflow in plain text rather than having to go hard code it, which is, that in itself is the biggest game changer to me. I mean, that removes the rigidity that exists in the previous platforms and legacy ERPs, which constrains companies and crushes resources. They have to go out and outsource help. And I mean, cash flow is king, and having to go out and hire developers or outsourced IT staff to run your internal system of record made no sense to me then. And I understand now why we went down the path of this insane journey, which has been incredible.
I don't think it's insane. I think it's a fantastic opportunity. And I've known you well enough now to know that your optimism is always managed by your discipline, and those two things have to go hand in hand. How are you feeling? So for the audience, the dealers are using, this one and that one, and they're stitching products and solutions together over the years, whether it be CRM or e-commerce and so on. Are you open, and are you cultivating relationships with those other third parties? Is your logic to include these companies to make it a very robust best of breed?
Yeah, 100%. And I even alluded to that when we announced the coming of DX1 in January at ECS last January. It's a totally open API. It's an open platform, and strategically for us, and even taking a step back, I would say the biggest piece of advice I would give to somebody that's going to go out and try to build something, and something that I'm probably the most proud of, and I don't say that often because I'm hard on myself. Go out and ask for help. People want to help. Build strategic partnerships. So, there was a few out of the gate that I thought would make sense. And when we talked to some of them, whether it was leasing companies or other software companies and managed services, or even Agent Dealer, for example, is an unbelievable CRM. Ed, I'll give you a plug right there. But really, you don't have to reinvent the wheel on everything. Go out and ask for help and form strategic alliances. And if you keep the goal in mind of building something and delivering value to the channel, it's not, the whole team here came from this industry, so there's a strong passion about trying to, make dealers profitable, make them grow, give them future-proof technology. If you focus on a goal that's not about you, and it's really not even about the organization, it's about an industry at large and making a difference, you're going to succeed. So going back to the open API and partnerships, we'll partner with anyone. And that was a struggle for me when I sat in the dealer seat. That was a struggle for me when I was in the consultant seat and working with MPS and managed service providers, implementing the same software that I had used for a long time. There was no openness. There was no willingness to partner or integrate. It made it a chore, which is only going to hinder the dealer in their growth.
So since January of this year, when you announced this, have you been adding clients to the platform?
We have. We're We'll say we're under a dozen implementations right now, which again, we've done that strategically. I can tell you that the volume of phone calls and the volume of demos on a weekly basis is one of the most exciting things that I've really ever seen. And especially in this channel, you need to have trust. They've been through a lot from an ERP perspective. So making sure that you do this the right way. We didn't go out and try to get, the 60 million or 100 million or $250 million dealers or even the mega dealers. Have we shown it to all of them and gotten amazing feedback? Yes. But strategically, we wanted to make sure that we brought on the right organizations for the right reasons at the right time and did it the right way, because for us, there's no second chance here. We're going to deliver a product that's future proof. We know we have the technology stack. We know we have the partner in Acumatica that is side by side, wants to go to battle and bring value to this channel. But making sure that we master implementation, master data migration, and template out the process, because at the end of the day, the faster you can get somebody to go live, the faster they're going to have success, adopt the product, and ultimately, mutually succeed.
So are you, obviously with IT services growing, by leaps and bounds, how have you included an IT services module or capability in DX1?
We have. There is some functionality surrounding field service and projects, and we're also working with ConnectWise as far as making sure, one, from an integration standpoint, we have a great strategy and go forward plan, but two, making sure, again, there's no conflict of interest. We're not battling against each other. We want to deliver a solution both for managed services and managed print that is the most streamlined, single pane of glass, and give these guys the tool set. And when I say these guys and gals, the dealer industry, both on managed services and managed print, a technology stack, and that stack could be DX1, ConnectWise, Agent Dealer, and the 4 or 5 other strategic partners we have working together in concert for the betterment of the channel.
So I would make a couple suggestions to you. I hope in your DX1 product you have a tab for Frank Sinatra and for Tony Bennett. So while they're doing their billing, they can get to Spotify. So I assume that's included in your product. You can
add any app to any dashboard and customize whatever you want. So yes, that is built in, and I'll make sure that that's a static app for Frank.
Yeah, that's free. That's no charge. I just give you that one. So speaking about Sinatra and Tony Bennett, I think I would have to say that you probably don't know much about their portfolio, but if you had a favorite Sinatra song, what would it be?
Well, growing up in New England, I learned to disdain New York, because I was a Boston everything fan. But I would probably go My Way. I mean, I know I look young. It's probably just because I'm short, but I love Frank. Frank's a legend.
All right, so My Way is a good one. And just today's music, what do you listen to?
It's a little bit of everything. I mean, I've been in Tampa since 2006, and growing up in New England, country wasn't probably as big, but I mean, I'm 17 years removed from there, by way of San Diego also. But I mean, I listen to a little bit of everything. I mean, Chris Stapleton, a little bit of country, a little bit of rock and roll, a little bit of hip hop. I mean, I probably always have throughout the office, and people make fun of me. I've got like some light elevator electronic music. I mean, I'm very open-minded when it comes to music.
Awesome. I love that. So if I recall, you just got engaged.
I did.
So
I didn't just get engaged. I did get engaged technically during COVID. We've been together 7 years. We did just make a little announcement to some people close to us that we're going to be expecting a new addition to the family in January, which we're very excited about.
Well, congratulations. So you got DX1.
It is a boy, and it is a boy too.
Double congratulations. That's nice. Well, to all the female listeners and babies, he didn't mean anything by that. Boy or girl, just healthy. We want it. So, and by the way, I have a third grandson. So thank you very much, as you
Yeah.
know. So,
Congratulations.
so I'm sure that if I were going to talk to what is your girlfriend's name? Your fiance's name?
Beth.
Beth?
Yes, Bethany,
Yes.
but goes by Beth.
Bethany. So if I were going to ask Bethany how thrilled she is that you made the choice to spend your 22 waking hours a day building out a company and building out DX1, what would she say if I asked her, yeah, you're with you like this?
I mean, probably, yes. I mean, before the startup, she'd call me princess. I still don't know why, but now she doesn't see me as much because I live here.
Oh,
So I see her less, I golf way less, but I think she sees what's gone on, and she's got to also spend some time with some industry folks. Being able to come to some events and meet the John Schweitzers of the world, and great, unbelievable leaders like that. She feels the sense of community, and she knows, especially with the team here at PowerMPS, the pride that we have in the channel. So, I think it's happy and sad. She's probably sad that she doesn't see me that much, but she's happy to see what we're delivering to the channel.
so as we round the corner here, what advice, what advice? What's your message to the dealer community? What are you going to be doing next to really promote DX1 and your new ERP? What should they be prepared for from you, and how should they respond?
Yeah, I mean, we have been very quiet, no question. We announced in January that we would be releasing it. It was ready to go in April, and we started onboarding new customers. But we've been quiet just because, again, we're not rushing this. We're being patient and we're doing it the right way. You will see some exciting announcements, I would say, coming over the next 30 or 60 days, as far as some strategic partnerships that have been formed and alliances that have been formed to help bring more value to the channel, bring more value to DX1 as a platform and a product. So you're going to see a lot more of DX1 name around, and whether it be industry publications, social media, or the events that everybody attends, throughout the year. So it's a really exciting time for us. Honestly, this has been a joy, and it's been something it's been a passion project, honestly. And the people that have gotten involved, industry leaders and other organizations that want to see, a modern, future-proof technology and alternative solution in the channel for the betterment of the channel, to see the people that have gotten behind this has been pretty unique and special.
Well, I can add a few things for the audience. Number one, for all of you who are listening, Alex Cribby is an honorable, good man, and he's a great leader. He's running a great business, and I would really encourage you to check him out, check out the company, take a look at the product, and take a look at the people. And I mean that sincerely. I understand the amount of work, time, and energy, not to mention money, that goes into these things. And it can be oftentimes a big strain on a lot of people. And you handle it well, and you handle it with great dignity and a lot of elegance. So I'm very honored and proud to be somehow associated with you. And to that point, the audience should know too that you're going to take a nice position at the Executive Connection Summit in 24. And people can really see a pretty robust product at that point and learn more about it. So with that, Alex, if you had any closing comments or thoughts, for the audience, now's a good time to say them.
No, I appreciate that. And side note, I may be wearing a baby Bjorn at ECS in January, but just, it's fine.
Well, he will be welcome.
No, I appreciate that. And thank you for the kind words. Honestly, it has been a really, really cool project to be involved with, and an unbelievable team, from an executive level to the implementation team to the business development team. I mean, I just think it's rare that you are able to get a team together that, everybody has a paddle, everybody wants to bring something to a channel or to a vertical for a reason, and not a selfish one. So what I would ask is, the biggest fear in anything, whether it's software or life or any direction you're going to change or turn, is change itself. And don't be fearful of change. You've got to change in order to evolve. You've got to learn lessons in order to evolve. So, I can tell you from the PowerMPS side, we're more interested than interesting. We want to know about your business. We want to know about your processes. We want to know about your pain points, and we want to know what we can do to help your organization grow. So, keep an eye out. Please feel free to reach out, and we're excited to deliver something that's going to be monumental and a big change for the better in this industry.
Well, I'm proud of you, and I'm proud of everything that you're doing. The industry certainly is in always great need of competition. I think the industry is seeking new and better ways to do things with the advent of AI and chat and low code, no code. So now's the time. And frankly, I just had a conversation with one of the industry analysts today who told me that the industry is doing very, very well. It's in a growth mode, ironically enough, at a time you might not think it. So now's the time. And Alex, I thank you very much for joining the show. And it's a privilege to work with you. And I look forward to working with you in the future.
Yeah, thank you, Mike, for everything. I really appreciate you. You do a lot for this industry, and it does not go unnoticed. So thank you for everything. And this was a blast. I'd love to do it again.
I'm sure we will. So you take care and thank you. Good luck with the baby.
Yeah, thank you.